Now in this video, we'll talk about interface. So interface is a replacement, or you cannot say a replacement, but it's provide you some advantages which you don't have in abstract class. So if we talk about abstract class, in abstract class you can have two things. You can have a methods which can be defined and a methods which can be only declared. So all those methods which are declared are called as abstract methods, right? Now, because abstract class is a class, and that's why you cannot achieve something called as multiple inheritance. But using interfaces, you can achieve something called as multiple inheritance. Now, so what is interface? In Java, a Java interface is like 100% pure abstract class. So what I mean by this is 100% pure abstract class is it all the methods in your interface will be by default public abstract. So you cannot define a method in an interface. So in order to create a interface, you have to specify the specifier which is public and then interface. So instead of using a keyword called class, we use interface keyword here. And then you have to mention your interface name. Now then you have to provide this curly braces in which you can declare all your methods. The problem is since your all the methods in interface are public abstract, so of course you cannot create object of interface, or you can say you cannot instantiate the object, you cannot instantiate this interface. So in order to instantiate this interface, we need to create a class. We'll name this class as dog, and this dog implements pet, which means you as a class you always implement a interface. Okay, so we have this hierarchy. So if you have a class, let me use a pointer. So if you have a class to class, it is always extends. But let's say you have a interface to class, it is implements. Let's say you have interface to interface, it is also extends. So if you have same on both the sides, so if you have C class to class extends, interface to class it is implements, and interface to interface it is again extends. So using interface you can achieve but multiple inheritance. Okay, so points to remember, interface is one of the concepts using which you can achieve multiple inheritance, and in interface all the methods are public abstract. That means you cannot define a method in interface. So you have to use this keyword called as you have to use a keyword called as interface here, and when you want to use that interface in order to create in order to instantiate that interface, we need to create a class which implements that interface, and you have to define all the methods. But what if let's say in this pet you have 5 methods and all the methods are abstract, right? But in dog we were only successful to implement 3 methods. So we failed to implement those 2 methods. So what will happen to this class? So in case if you fail to define all the methods, your class will become abstract. And of course, you cannot create object of abstract class. So in future, if you want to create object of abstract class, so again we have to define that we have to create a new class which will extend this dog class here. So this is the concept of interface.